This is the standing practice for the mbsr program. So it's best to have, if you can, have a little bit of space around you. It's best, or to do it on a mat on the floor. But you don't need too much space around you, so don't let that put you off. And we come first just standing up straight and just noticing the standing posture. Letting yourself settle in at the beginning of this practice and just setting a little intention. Is this to increase flexibility and strength? Or is it to increase the capacity to look inwards at what's comfortable and difficult in our physical experience? Or is it to bring healing to certain parts of the body? Of course, there's lots of reasons to do this practice, and just tuning into what you want to get out of it today. And then noticing the breathing. I'm trying to stand upright, comfortably, quite a dignified posture with the shoulders back, relaxed away from the ears, the hands resting down either side of the torso, and the crown of the head is drifting towards the sky, the ceiling. The knees aren't clenched, aren't too tight, aren't locked. And the feet ideally hip width apart. It can be nice to do this barefoot if that's available to you. Also very nice to do it outside if that works. And just as we stand, just noticing the breathing, and let the breath go all the way down, filling the lungs. And with the next inhale, we're going to reach the hands all the way up into the sky. This gets called the morning stretch. So stretching up as far as you can, left and right hand, and seeing if they can reach a little further. There's a balance in these practices between straining and at the same time kind of testing your limit. You don't want to hurt yourself doing any of this, and back out of any practice when you're ready. Just as you inhale, stretching up a little further, notice how the knees are as you do this. And then with the exhale, let the hands gradually float all the way back down to either side of the torso, and being attentive to the shoulders. What has happened at the shoulders during this practice? With another inhale, we're going to stretch those hands up again. And as you reach up, if you want to come up onto the ball of your feet, put onto your toes as it were, so reach a little higher. So to really stretch out the body. If you like to look up as well, you can do that. If you want to stretch up one side slightly more than the other, and then the other side, stretch. Just noting that slight tilt in the pelvis and the spine as you do that. Really reaching up one arm and then the other. Noticing how it is at the back of the neck. And then with an exhale, letting the hands sink back down. And then allowing yourself to rest for a moment. Noting what that practice did, particularly maybe at the upper back. And now we're going to just bring one hand up. So breathing in, bring the right arm or straight up into the air. With the left hand is going to drift down towards the left knee, creating a stretch in the right side of the body, and breathing into this stretch, filling the lungs to encourage the sides of the ribs to stretch, reaching up higher with the right, reaching lower with the left, noting what it does to the hips, the base of the spine, and with the exhale let that right hand float back down, coming back to center. We're going to breathe up the left hand, stretching the left hand up to the ceiling and letting the right hand drift down towards the knee. And notice what this does to the distribution of weight on the feet. Maybe more weight on the right foot doing this. Perhaps even the left heel comes off the ground a little bit as the left hand reaches for stars. And you can turn to look at that left hand in the sky if that's comfortable. breathing fully, which helps a little bit with the stretch in the left side of the body, noting all there along from the left armpit to the left hip. And with the exhale, coming back to center and letting the arms return to resting either side of the torso. And now the next position we're going to take is to, as it were, put your hands into being on the cross, that kind of position where you're making a T shape. And so stretching out to the left and to the right, both hands, as if trying to push against the walls on either side. Just holding them there. Inevitably there'll be a little bit of work to do for the shoulders and the upper arms in holding this position, so sort of being prepared for that. Tuning in with the breath. And if you like to reach more towards the right side now, so to tilt across the midline and let the body sway a little bit towards the right, let the weight come onto the right foot, notice what the left heel, and push towards the right, and then bringing the body back to center and tilt over towards the left, so the weight more likely on the left foot and the left arm stretching as far as it can, and then back to center. And we're just going to hold the hands there for another few moments, just if that's comfortable. Just inevitably they'll get heavy pretty soon, and just observe the demand of the body to bring them back down, and that you can decide when to bring them back down. Breathing with it, and perhaps with the next exhale, really mindfully letting those arms float back down. So really attending to what the muscles of the upper arms and the shoulders do, and then noticing the relaxation that can come into those muscles once that task is complete and the arms are at rest. Now, we won't leave them at rest too long. We're going to bring them back up into the T shape, into the cross, and this time we're going to twist, so bringing the arms all the way around. So this is like reaching the right arm back around to the back and the left arm, so in a swinging motion, swinging the arms around, swinging. You're going to be looking over the left shoulder, the right shoulder as you swing the arms, just allowing a bit of movement here. And it can be nice to let the arms hit against the flanks of the body, the sides of the body, lower back, just providing like a really gentle kind of little tap, massage. And then coming back to center, resting the arms. After any of these practices, if there's parts of the body you want to shake out, perhaps the knees, the feet, whatever, it's hard for the body for a lot of it to stay still, so just noticing that. Next position, put hands to the hips, and we're going to look as far as you can over the left shoulder, right over that left shoulder, to see if you can see the left far wall. And just being attentive to what this does at the feet. The feet kind of have to resist the twist. And at the knees, noting the hips. See if you can twist any further, and with the exhale come back to center. Shake it out, and then look out over the other shoulder. Now seeing how far you can see, being attentive to your vision, noting the edge of the peripheral vision, just how far around you can observe, and how far up you can observe, and down. Just seeing all that's in your visual field as you twist around like this, and noting what the twist is doing at the spine, the back. Seeing if you can, with another breath, can you twist a little further. And then with the exhale, coming back to center. And just noticing the body there. It can be nice to sway the hips from one side to the other. Just letting the weight drift onto the right leg and then onto the left. The next pose we're going to do is the tree pose. So this, we'll let the weight settle onto the right foot and bring the left heel slightly up above the right ankle. You can stay there, or if you can bring the left toe off the ground and the left foot all the way up towards the right inner thigh and hold it there. Hands come to prayer in front of the body. And just appreciating everything that the right foot is doing for you, the right ankle, as you stay in this posture. Breathing this. And then if you want to bring the hands to prayer up above the head to stretch up high. And noting the work that the left upper thigh has to do to hold that foot up there. And then with the exhale, bring both feet back down. We're going to let the weight drift over to the left foot. And be attentive to doing a little bit of balance practice every day. It's really important neurologically as we age and physically. So obviously it's easy when we're younger, but balance, falls, all that gets so much more important as we get older. So just attending to that and noting how it is for the left foot to not have the support of the right foot as the right foot comes up to the inner thigh, and hands at prayer at the heart, or if the hands can go to prayer up high above the head, stretching the body up as you're in this tree posture, and holding here for a few moments, seeing if you can have the mind empty. And then letting the hands float back down and that right foot gradually come back down. And just noting how it is for the 2 feet as the weight gets distributed evenly again. And the breathing can return to normal. We're going to do another similar kind of tree posture now, but this time we're going to keep both feet on the ground, bring both hands up into the air. And this time the hands are like branches, and we're going to imagine the wind is blowing the branches over to the right hand side, so that the whole trunk of the body is getting blown towards the right, but the branches in particular are getting blown as far as they can over to the right hand side. Left arm as well is up above the ear, blown over to the right. And notice where the weight is. Notice the tilt of the spine. And breathe here. And now let the body come back to center, and let the hands get blown over to the other side. So stretching out towards the left arm stretching for the wall to the left, the right arm above the ear stretching out that way as well. Note where the weight is, and breathing. And back to center. Now, we're just going to do some shoulder rolls. So, using your breath to guide this, bringing the shoulder in a circle up to the ears, forward around the chest, back down, and scrunching behind the back, the shoulder blades. And if you want to do it both directions, clockwise, anti-clockwise, just giving your own shoulders a massage, moving them out. Of course, so much tension typically carried in the shoulders. It's one of the first things happens when we tense up, is that the shoulder muscles brace and they can stay like this. So with a practice like this, we're helping the knots in those muscles to ease out a little bit. And whenever you're ready, we can let the shoulders rest, the arms either side of the body, and just noting, can the shoulders be in a position of relaxedness, of not in the fight-flight stressed position, and just attuning to what that's like. We're going to do similar with the neck roll. So this means bringing the head to the right ear to the right shoulder, then the chin down to the chest, and letting the head roll over to the other shoulder, left ear to left shoulder, and towards the back. And back around to the left shoulder, chin to the chest, right ear to right shoulder, and then chin to the sky. And rolling around, just so you follow your own breath. Listen to what your own neck wants of you. The little bits of muscles that are connecting the head to the back of the neck, and just appreciating the immense weight of the human head that the neck all the time has to carry on its relatively slender part of the body. And if you like to do the thing of looking to the left and looking to the right, just being very gentle with the neck. No need to have injuries in this part of the body if you can avoid it. And looking down, all the way down, looking all the way up, all the way down, chin tucked in, all the way up. How high can the chin go? How far back can you see? And back to center. Breathing. Now for the next posture, just gonna, if it's comfortable, just to come up onto the tippy toes for a second, and then onto the heels. So rolling on the feet and just noting what it's like to roll on the feet. Tippy toes, and then just weight on the heels. And then we're gonna bring the weight onto one leg, onto the right leg, so that the weight is on the right leg and the left leg is going to drift upwards to the left. So just noting what the left upper leg has to do. Note what happens at the buttocks as you do this, but bring that left foot as far up into the air as it can, laterally out to the side. So it quite quickly can be a limit for most of us doing this. The left foot typically can't go up that far. And we're just holding this position, noting what it's like, noting what the hips have to do, and keeping the left foot in the air. Let's let it drift back to center and bring it over, the left foot over to the right a little bit, just for a moment, crossing over the right leg, and then we'll put the left foot gratefully back down on the ground, letting the weight come onto both feet again. And once again we'll do that little rock and roll onto the heels, onto the toes, massaging the soles of the feet. This is, I suppose, more beneficial if you're barefoot or in socks. Letting the weight gradually decide to come onto the left hip, left knee, left ankle, and let that right foot drift up to the right. And just noting what the body does to balance itself. Do the shoulders drift a little bit to the left to counteract what's happening? The right foot off to the right. Trying to keep the centre of gravity, estimating where the centre of gravity is now. Perhaps somewhere over the left hip or just to the right of the left hip. And just noting what the body does to do this. Noting all the work that the left sole of the foot is doing. The left ankle, as the right foot has other types of work, is the right side of the body, the right side of the torso involved in pulling up that right leg. If you haven't already done so, with the next exhale, let's let that right foot drift back down. And taking in a big breath here, relaxing. Now, if it's comfortable, just to bring the weight onto the right foot, bring the right knee up a little bit. So bringing the right knee up as far as it's comfortable to go. If you want to hold on to the right knee, pull it up towards you a little bit. Looking at something that's not moving to help with the balance. Stretching that right knee up and letting the left foot drift back down. Weight onto the left foot now. I'm going to bring the right knee up and if comfortable to hug that right knee in towards the chest, noting if that involves any stretch at the hamstring at the back of the right upper thigh or at the quads. And when you're ready, bringing the foot back down. Now, if this one's okay for you, next posture we're going to do stretching the hands up into the air, and then we're going to keep the legs straight, or as straight as possible, and let the hands drift down towards the toes. So reaching for this is just a forward bend. If the hands come to the feet, that's great. If they come to the shins, that's fine. Or just at the knees, that's okay. Whatever works for you. This helps to stretch out the lower back, helps to stretch out the hamstrings. So we're trying to keep the legs straight without the knees absolutely locked or anything. And breathing here, seeing if you can go a little bit further with the inhale and relaxing into it with the exhale. Now, we're going to come out of this quite slowly with the inhale, just imagining each vertebrae unwinding upwards, one on top of the other, and letting the hands come all the way up to reach for the ceiling again, stretching all the way up onto the tippy toes, and let them drift back down to either side. Now, if it's okay, we'll do the triangle pose now, which is we're going to open the feet out much wider. So that if you can open the feet out as wide as they can go, and we're going to tilt the right foot out away from you. The left foot comes in a little bit. The hands are up in the cross position, perpendicular. They're kind of level across the shoulders, so checking that the hands are level. And then the right hand drifts down to the right leg. Might come to the right upper thigh. The fuller posture is down to the right big toe, keeping that right leg straight, and the left arm goes straight into the air. So this involves a twist, stretch at the right hamstring, stretch along the left side of the body. It's a really good posture if you can do it. Breathing here, looking up at the sky, opening the chest the whole time doing this, opening out. And whenever you're ready, if you want to look down at the ground and bring the right hand back up, come back to center, and we're going to pivot on the heels so that the left toe points away towards the left, the right toe points inwards a little bit so that there's a balance, and we're going to let the torso lean out over the left side of the body, and the left hand might come to the left thigh, or it might come to the left shin, or the full posture is down towards the left big toe or the ground. And the right hand is straight up into the air. Left leg and right leg are both straight doing this, as straight as they can be. You're twisting open and observing how this is at the back. Observing how it is across the shoulders. The shoulders can be relaxed, even though that right hand is stretching up to the sky. And you're breathing the body out open, the chest open, the lungs taking in full breaths. And whenever you're ready, coming back to center. Now we're just coming into our final few bits. So just doing a little kind of walking on the spot. So letting both legs shake out. And just for the last bit of a practice like this, what can be nice to do is kind of to develop, as it were, if you had to invent yoga. This just means listening to what does your body want. Do the arms want to swim? Do they want to do like the breaststroke in a swimming pool? Do the feet want to shake out? Does one want to lift? You tune into your own body just for a few moments, just seeing what it wants to do. Do the hips want to sway? And of course, a very natural way to do this is simply to put on music and dance, particularly when there's no one looking, and just let the body do what it wants to do. So we're going to come to stillness again, just to finish the practice. So standing in mountain pose again, standing upright, the back straight, the shoulders relaxed, hands either side of the body, crown of the head drifting to the ceiling, and breathing. And just noting the effect that this practice has had on the feet, on the ankles, on the calves, the knees, the upper legs, the pelvis, the hips, then along the back, the belly, the breath at the chest, noting the shoulders, noting the fingers, the palms of the hands, the circulation of the blood around the arms, noting the neck, and then the back of the head, top of the head, and the face, the jaw. Thanks so much for participating in this practice. May it serve you well. Thanks. We'll finish there.